It's Murphy Gray Hunter, and we are still Monday, September 23rd. Okay, so this video here, I want to talk to you guys about mortar and pestles. I get a lot of questions about mortar and pestles, like which one should I buy, which one do I use for this, or I ruined it because I put this in there. So, and it's kind of confusing when you go and you see all these mortar and pestles and you're just like, what? And you mostly find a lot of them like in the culinary sections of stores, especially like when you go to like Ross or something. You find them all where they have like the cookery stuff. Cookery, is that a word? The cooking stuff. So anyway, I have my little notes here, but let's talk a little bit about mortar and pestles. And then I'm going to show you all the different kinds that I have, and then talk a little bit more about the different types. But they found back in 35,000 years ago, BC, that Egyptians used to use mortar and pestles. Then like they were also, they used to use them to mix their herbs and certain, like, break down stones. Egyptians used to use lapis lazuli, the crystal lapis lazuli stone, how, it's really beautiful blue with gold in it. They used to smash it up, and they used a mortar and pestle, and they would smash it all up, and they would use it for blue eyeshadow, which is crazy, right? Because what if that got in your eyeball? But I guess we don't care because we wear glitter on our eyes, But I guess it's a different type of shimmer. But anyway, so yeah, they used back in early Egyptian times, they found mortar and pestles along with a lot of their tools and stuff, which is pretty cool. I find Egyptian culture super, super interesting. They were a very efficient and very smart culture. Anyway, but even back, they found that Greeks were using mortar and pestles as well many years ago. Their mortar and pestles, the Greek style, are more like bowl shapes. Oh, my bangs are getting in my face. More bowl shapes versus cup shapes. So when you see those mortar and pestles that are more like a bowl, that's more of a Greek style. But there are different types of mortar and pestles. You have glass, you have ceramic, you have wood, you have marble, you have granite, you have cast iron. But with cast iron being like this, or like your Big Mama skillet, cast iron's a little bit harder because the pestle would damage the motor after a while, so they don't really make too many cast irons, but they do make them. I know if you have a cast iron mortar and pestle, you have to have a lot of special care with it because you can damage it. They have like a Japanese earthenware, and of course that's used a lot for cooking. You have volcanic rock, which is you find in the Mexican or the Latin molcajete ones. They're made from volcanic rock, and the textures in it. The texture of the volcanic rock it's really nice, but you have to be careful. So if you're using something that absorbs like that, like, if you're using like wood, or you're using something like the volcanic rock and you're smashing chili peppers in there or garlic, it's never going to lose that scent, that seasoning in there. And so if you try to use herbs in there, they're going to have that same flavor in it, So you have to be careful and things like that. And then you have the automatic, and those were used more in the pharmaceutical. You'll find that more in pharmaceutical, where they use to, make medicine. But the ones that I have, I only have 4. And I use them for all different things. Like I have this little bitty baby marble one. Isn't this cute? It's super, super cute. I use this tiny one here in my kitchen. And this stays right there by my seasonings, because sometimes when I'm using certain seasonings like whole peppercorns or mustard seeds when I'm cooking, whatever it is, I use this, and this stays in my kitchen. I do not mix any of my magical ones with my culinary ones. It's completely separate. So I don't need one any bigger than this. I do have another one. I have 2 of them. I didn't bring the other one up. I have another big round one about this size, and it's a wood one. It's about that big. And I use that when I make my guacamole. So that one stays downstairs, and that's all that is for, just my guacamole. Because I don't really mix anything else like that I can think of. So, but yeah, this one is just for my seasonings, and then that other wood one is for my guacamole. So I never mix them with nothing else. And I bought the one for the kitchen. Mostly the culinary ones you're gonna find are gonna be marble, because buying marble to mix certain things is great, because if you're smashing garlic in here, or you know, a chili pepper, it's marble, so it means it's not going to absorb that flavor. You can wash it really well with hot soapy water, and then it'll be good to go with everything else. If I was to use garlic or chili peppers in my wood one, it will forever have that flavor. So that's what buying marble ones for your kitchen is great. So that's that one. Now I have this other big marble one. I've been using this one. I have this other big marble one here. This was pretty heavy. And I use this one, you know, for all kinds of things, but also mostly I use the marble ones if I have like resins. You know how resins can get really sticky and slimy. So anything that has that stickiness or wet feel to it, I use this mortar pestle, I'm about to say the mahogany, the marble one, because this one is very, very easy to clean up, especially with resin. Ugh, with resin, it gets kind of sticky, and it just like, and it just, you can ruin your wood ones, or you can even ruin your granite ones, your rock ones. You can ruin it with resins, so you have to be careful. But these are great. So if you're only going to buy one, I would suggest buying a marble one, because you can use resin and wash it out really well. You can use chili peppers in here, wash it out really well, garlic, you know, whatever you're going to use in here, and you can wash it really well, and then you can still use it to mix your dried stuff, and it will not, you know, enhance that flavor of it. You know, like it won't have that residue. And then I have a wood one. This one my sister gave me. She was given this one, and she gave it to me. I love it. I use this one for mostly all of my dried powdered stuff. So anything that I have that's dry, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a dry powder or a mineral, like any salts or sugars or any type of sand, anything like that I use in here. Anything dry, because these are really easy to clean. So I wash these also with soap and water, and this one I dry very, very fast because it's wood, and I just don't like to get this one too much, like too wet. So after I wash it, I put it where the sun hits, like inside the house, and so it'll just dry really well. And then I have my molcajete. This one I got from the Latin meat market. This one is made out of volcanic rock, and these are very popular in the Latin community. Also, these are really big in Thailand. In the Asian community, these are used, like I said, mostly in Thailand. You see a lot of these in Thailand, Indonesia. They use these great big ones, and they're really good for. But the only thing about this, when you're smashing your if you're using this for culinary, you're going to keep some of that residue in there. That you're going to season it like you do when you have a cast iron. So with this one, I use this one when I want to smash up like dragon's blood resin, because it's hard and turns into powder. You know, any type of dried berries, anything that I want to make into powder, I use this one. But no resins. Only my resins go in the so I was reading something. My resins, I use my marble, and then of course my powder in that one, and then this one's just for food, my culinary stuff. So you know, always make sure that you care for your mortar and pestles. You want to make sure you wash them really good with hot soapy water after every time you use them. Make sure you wash them really, really well, and then set them out to dry. And as long as you keep washing them and taking good care of them, they will last you a very long, long time. So invest in one good one. But since I make different stuff, and I like to get small ones. I don't really need these big ginormous ones. You know, this is really a good size for me because it fits well in my hands, and I can, you know, do this. You know, it's visually nice to have these great big expensive beautiful looking ones, but at the end of the day you just want what works. And I think I bought this one at Ross for like $7.99. It works amazing, gets it done. And so just find one that works really well with you, and literally the ones that fit in your hand are really good. And as long as you're, like I said, you're washing them really good with soap and water, getting them all cleaned out, taking good care of them, drying them, and storing them properly where they're not going to get, you know, broken, or they're not going to fall, or, you know, making sure that you're taking good care of them, they will last you for a long time. Another tip is making sure that you're keeping your Mortar and Pestles separate. Again, keep your culinary separate than your magical ones. I know a lot of witches, you know, will intermix them. I personally don't, because I can't remember every single thing. Like I smashed up some belladonna berries in this one. I definitely don't want to mix up my guacamole stuff in this, you know. So, or if you're working with poisonous plants, poisonous ingredients, you know, you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping this stuff separate. So definitely keep your, I know we tend to, like, during the holidays when we run out of cinnamon, we'll go to our witchy room and get cinnamon from our witchy supply because we don't want to go to the store, but we need some cinnamon. That's different if you have things separate, you know. But when your Mortar and Pestles is completely different, because unless you remember every single thing that you put in this one, I would not, definitely not mix them together. And there's so many, and they're so inexpensive, so you definitely can at least buy one for your kitchen and one for your home. I mean, one for your magical stuff. But if I had to only have one, I would pick this one, the marble one, because like I said, it's it works really well because it's hard and you can smash stuff really, really well, and it grinds and powders things really good. I had great success with this, and especially using, like, I have resin, I had some jasmine and frankincense and myrrh and some jasmine resins, and I was using them, and you know, they get very sticky, and I'm so glad that I used this one and not one of the other ones. And it just happened by luck that I saw how slimy and sticky it got, and so I was really glad that I had grabbed the right one. So if you're only going to buy one, get a marble one. Like I said, I got this one at Ross for like $7.99. I know there's big beautiful ones, and you know, I see people with these big gorgeous, like, ooh, but they're so expensive, and for what? We just needed to mix our stuff, right? At the end of the day, as long as it's mixed. Just like with jars. This is a leftover jar from fettuccine sauce, and I washed it all out, put a little label on there, and it's perfect because my stuff is stored, you know? All right, guys, that is my tip on Mortar and Pestles. I hope that this helped you guys out on, you know, which one to pick, which one to use, which one is y'all's favorite. Tell me which one you have, which one is your favorite. Put it down in the comments. Or if you have one that you pick, like that you have, that you use, that you recommend, please let me know, because I will definitely love to know what everybody else uses and the results of it. So, all right, guys, as always, love you all and blessed be. Bye.